My name's Zach, when you in town. We're here to grab up, right?
A softly spoken Zachary Rolfe arrives from Alice Springs, jumping the fence of Yundamu's Red House in search of Kumanjayi Walker. There's a plan to arrest him safely the next morning, but Constable Rolfe has a tendency to rush in and ignores it. Legally, Kumanjayi shouldn't even be in town. It's a breach of a court order, but culturally he's required to return to bury his grandfather. He's never met the young cop before, but on the 9th of November 2019, it took 3.1 seconds for their worlds to collide in the most tragic way.
It's all good. He's got scissors in his hand. He was stabbing me, he was stabbing you. All right, mate.
Less than 2 hours after the out-of-town pseudo-tactical team arrived, a young Walpri-Laricha man took his final breaths on the floor of a police cell as his family waited in the dark.
We just want to know if he's alive.
The coroner has now found racism, poor policing and a litany of failures led to the avoidable tragedy.
It's so traumatising and it's so awful to see the effect it's having on youth.
Zachary Rolfe was charged with murder 4 days after the shooting. Acquitted 2 years later, arguing he fired in self-defence. Kumanjayi, who had days earlier threatened police with an axe, stabbed Constable Rolfe with a pair of scissors. 6 months later, the death in custody was under a different microscope. In the coroner's court, the public saw what the jury didn't. A string of earlier arrests of Aboriginal men unnecessarily forceful, according to the coroner. Racial slurs casually used in text messages between even senior police.
One person's telephone revealed all that information. It raises further questions as to just how much is simmering below the surface that we haven't seen.
Then came more grotesque racism. The force's most elite unit handed out an annual so-called of the Year award.
That no police member who knew of these awards reported them is, in my view, a clear evidence of entrenched systemic and structural racism within the NT Police.
You know, Yapa have known that, we've felt that, but to hear that really validated us.
A reckoning in the ranks now inescapable.
The fact that it did exist and the fact that it was permitted and fostered is just not acceptable.
Almost 6 years ago, this tiny town was thrust into the worst kind of national spotlight. Yundamu was known across the country for the violent death of a young man and the poverty he grew up in. But this is a community who love their home and are determined to defend its reputation. They say they hold on to hope their years-long fight for justice won't be in vain.
Justice looks like people coming to that table and ensuring that they have a genuine intention to make sure this doesn't happen again.
The past 6 years in and out of courtrooms have divided sections of the Northern Territory. There's still deep injustice felt on all sides.
It's not lost on me how fragile trust is and how quickly it can be lost, and there's no doubt that that's occurred, and those scars are going to run deep.
Zachary Rolfe is considering appealing the coroner's findings, and Walpri mob are grieving the fresh loss of another young man who died in police custody just 2 months ago. In Yundamu, the home which became a crime scene is now lovingly called Memory House, a reminder of a deep scar on a community where a new generation of Walpri kids are being raised with hopes of walking a different path. Melissa Mackay, ABC News, Yundamu.